Uh, Although I loved science fiction, I was just beginning my career and I thought, oh, I'm going to be pigeonholed.
The actors felt like they were burning inside robot suits that reached over 130 degrees. A 10-year-old boy was left with lifelong trauma after being terrified on set. The hero who once played Zorro had to lie on live television. And the leading lady, once hailed as a symbol of intelligence, was now reduced to serving men. They were not lost in the galaxy. They were trapped on a Hollywood soundstage where the lights shone so bright they blinded everyone to the pain beneath. In 1965, Lost in Space was born and promoted as the American dream in the age of space conquest. A family of astronauts on a ship adrift among the stars, carrying faith, science, and morality. But from the very first days of filming, that dream began to crack as suffocating tension, conflict, and wounds no one ever spoke about started to consume the cast. And these are the moments when Hollywood's spotlight was not bright enough to erase the real darkness behind the camera. Guy Williams, the man the world knew as Zorro, was once the pure image of justice, yet inside the gleaming astronaut suit, the hero vanished, and in his place stood a father who always smiled, always pretended, and always lied to protect a perfect illusion. Because CBS demanded the American father must never be wrong, so Williams delivered lines that betrayed his own beliefs. And he later confessed that Lost in Space became a golden cage, shiny on the outside, but hollow and suffocating inside. And he carried that regret all the way to Argentina, where he spent the last years of his life far away from Hollywood and its hypocrisy. June Lockhart wanted to prove that women could be scientists and leaders in space. But instead, she was forced to bake cookies on a spaceship and smile while the men saved the day again and again. And every time she suggested Morin should hold a star map, the room laughed, saying a woman could never be a believable scientist. So she became a symbol of obedience instead of inspiration. And later, as she watched strong female heroes rise, she whispered that if she had been stronger, Moran might have been the first to step off that ship. Marta Kristen felt real love growing between Judy Robinson and Major Don West. Yet CBS erased every glance, every touch, every breath, fearing the audience might think of desire. So Kristen said she felt like a doll in a glass case, pretty but without a soul, and she regretted staying silent in a world that was terrified of real emotion, turning love into a forbidden act. Meanwhile, the child star Bill Mumy endured real explosions, real fear, and real tears just to entertain the world, and those echoes followed him into adulthood as panic and insomnia, reminding him that his childhood had been sacrificed for perfect takes and applause. Jonathan Harris, the brilliant actor behind Dr. Smith, transformed a disposable villain into a legend by injecting humor, elegance, and vulnerability. But in doing so, he hid his true self behind jokes, forced to soften his identity in an era when CBS forbid anything that did not fit their strict mold of masculinity. And he later wondered if the laughter he created was actually aimed at a version of himself he wished he could openly be. Bob May, the man sealed inside the robot suit, suffered heat burns, claustrophobia, and nightmares, while audiences cheered the machine, never knowing the human voice and sweat trapped beneath. And when the robot once attacked Will Robinson in a chilling episode, May carried guilt for years because his performance meant hurting a child, even if it was acting. Mark Goddard, who played Major Don West, hid from Lost in Space for 20 years. Embarrassed by absurd scripts that turned the show into a circus, instead of the serious science fiction he once hoped would shape his career, and only much later realized that the show he had rejected was loved deeply by millions who never saw the humiliation he carried. Angela Cartwright, once known for The Sound of Music, spent decades trying to reclaim her own name after the world insisted on calling her Penny. And while she found peace behind a camera as a photographer, she admitted that Lost in Space defined her more than she wanted and made her a symbol instead of an artist. Behind it all, CBS and Irwin Allen shifted the show from courageous science fiction to a campy toy commercial, after discovering they could sell plastic robot figures for massive profit-slashing budgets, erasing mature storylines and forcing writers to replace philosophy with silly gags. So what began as a bold dream became a product designed for shiny merchandise, not art. When the series ended, the cast escaped the set, but never escaped their characters trapped forever in a story that millions adored, yet they privately regretted. Because while Lost in Space told viewers that courage, love, and morality could survive, in the stars, the truth behind the camera showed that love could be erased, childhood traded away, and humanity rewritten, all for the sake of commercial success. And maybe that is the real tragedy of Hollywood, the place where magical dreams are made, but also broken, the place where the cast of Lost in Space became lost themselves. If this story made you see Hollywood differently, share your thoughts in the comments, and make sure to like, subscribe, and press the bell icon so you never miss the secrets we uncover next on Hollywood Bulletin.